Good evening and welcome to the campus of Baldwin Wallace University here at George Finnie Stadium. I am Cole McDaniel alongside me, Tommy Maroon.
Hello.
And tonight, it's again, like I said, women's action. 2 nights of soccer action here for the Yellow Jackets, and this time it's going to be the women defending home turf here from Tressel Field. Again, Tommy, like I said, good to be joining you. It's the Adrian College Bulldogs visiting here this evening.
I'd just like to say maybe it's going to be a low-scoring contest because by the looks of what the Adrian Bulldogs have done all season long, they've only scored 2 goals or less and given up 2 goals or less this season. So if this game is low-scoring, don't be surprised.
That is for sure. And here this evening you mentioned it actually. The Bulldogs, again, it's been low scoring for them this season, but they've been fairly successful. Their overall record so far, 3-2-2 overall for the home Yellow Jackets, 5-1. And we get this one underway, and it'll be the Bulldogs attacking from right to left on your screen. They're in their all black and gray jerseys with the yellow numerals for the Yellow Jackets in their all gold uniforms, and the brown numerals for them.
All right.
So kept that one in play, and we'll look at the starting lineups for both of these teams here in just a moment. But Adrian, last 3 games, 2 wins, and the last one was a loss. And they're staying in Ohio here this week, really taking care of playing several non-conference games here in the state of Ohio. And mentioned that, of course, one of those games that they had, the last one was against Otterbein, so they were down at Westerville. Now they make the trip here to Berea as they are coming from Michigan. Conference play, of course, starting for them here very shortly. Same for the Yellow Jackets.
It's also worth noting not only did they play Otterbein, but they also played Heidelberg as well. That's an OAC school. I believe Otterbein. Is that an OAC school?
Otterbein is an OAC school as well, yep.
Wanted to make sure, that's all.
Absolutely. Now for the Yellow Jackets, mentioned the fairly successful season they had so far through the non-conference schedule. Now they have a big one coming up on the slate this next Friday, and we'll touch on that here a little bit later this evening. But what they had the last couple of games, they were able to take care of business against Geneva, winning 4-0, and then at Waynesburg, a victory 3-1. But they will turn around and play a game on Friday, so that is coming up quickly. But obviously this game at hand first, and here's a shot from long distance directly in the hands of number 39, Katie Scott. And that leads me to talking about the starting lineup for the Yellow Jackets. Joining Katie Scott, who of course is starting in goal, also on the field, number 5, Carly Beringer. Number 6, Ella Barth. Number 7, Sydney Rice. Number 8, Jillian Neal. Number 10, Paige Ackerman. Number 18, Casey Goluboff. Number 25, Maddie Farrell. Number 29, Haley Schwade. Number 32, Bella Regal. And number 37, Natalie Stewart.
I'd just like to say about Sydney Rice, because not only is she a junior, which means she's got 1 more year of playing, but she's the lead scorer for BW with 7 goals. Just for comparison, the rest of the school has 6 combined, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, and Sydney Rice, one to watch out for. Not a surprise that she's the leading scorer for the team as she was last season as well. Really a perennial goal-scoring threat. 41 shots on the season coming into the night for her. 14 points off of her 7 goals. Also somebody to watch out for is Maddie Farrell, the experienced midfielder. Again, looking to set up Rice. Has several assists on the year. Also a goal to her name as well.
And now I think would be, do we look at Adrian's roster?
Absolutely. We will here in just a moment as this one goes out for a throw, and we'll get to the Adrian Bulldogs starting lineup here as well. In goal, number 64, Caitlin Stanton. Joining her on the field, number 2, McKenna Mahoney. Number 7, Sydney Anderson. Number 8, Kelsey Zoli. Number 9, Eve Davis. Number 11, Leah Human. Huber. Actually, excuse me, I apologize. Number 11, Leah Homan. Again, there is also number 22, Josie Huber, also on the field. Number 16, Tegan Bergeron. Number 23, Zoe Blanchard. Number 24, Sarah Hohenscheid. And number 25, McKenna Mascaro. Played nearly 5 minutes here so far. This one played across the 6. Header here, and this one booted out. Going to be out for a Bulldogs throw.
So you're right, we have gone about 5 minutes through this, and looking at the team stats, one shot on goal for the Bulldogs today.
Throw in for Adrian. This one going to be out for a throw once again.
Looks like there's a fight for the ball, and who that going? That one out in BW.
So mention that it's been a busy week of soccer action here. Of course, the men's team picking up a win over Hiram, 7-0 last night. We expect a little bit closer of a matchup here tonight as Adrian making the long travels, and so far have had a pretty successful season to this point. So I expect a really good matchup between these two. The women, of course, are back in action on the road on Friday, and we'll get to that a little bit later as well, as they're going to be playing against a top 25 ranked program. And then the men's team will be playing here on Saturday,
which will be after the football game during Parents' Weekend.
That is correct.
Very eventful week.
Free kick opportunity for the Yellow Jackets as Ella Barth hits this one towards the back post. Lurking is Golubov at the back post. And this is easily picked up by Stanton. Nice job defending there, with really facing her own goal was Leah Homan.
I'd just like to say that for Adrian, almost everyone comes from Michigan, except for one, Zoe Greenbaum from Toledo, and Leah Homan from Ontario, Canada. So yeah, they have a lot of close to home people, a lot of close to home players.
Yeah, definitely homegrown. That is for sure.
I think that's what makes D3 sports so much fun, because it's really the best of your local region going up against the best of another local region. And even so, you get some from other regions as well.
Yeah, you do sometimes. Obviously, last night we saw with Hiram, they had some players from all around the world.
Literally.
They absolutely did. And this Yellow Jackets roster, again, much of it is made up of a lot of Ohio and Pennsylvania talent, but there's a lot of other places sprinkled in as well. You mentioned mostly Michigan players for Adrian, and it's always interesting to see how far some of these programs go out with their recruiting. Played about 8 minutes here so far in the first half, still 0-0, and a goal kick for Scott as she sends this one down the field.
And it's going to go backwards now.
Picked up by the Bulldogs, and in the middle of the field, the Bulldogs win it back, looking for some help. Sydney Rice now going to apply some pressure as well as Stewart, and the Bulldogs now play this one long. Going to be last off of Paige Ackerman, out for a Bulldogs throw.
What are the keys to the game for today?
Well, keys for the game for both of these teams. Obviously, if you're the Yellow Jackets, the biggest thing is to control home turf, really defend your field here, Tressel Field, George Finnie Stadium. Been successful here at home so far this season, 2-1. Look to continue to keep those winning ways. And honestly, you want to get that ball to Sydney Rice.
Yeah,
She's your perennial goal-scoring threat. You need to get to her. And on the other end, you'd be able to stop Adrian on these counterattacks. We've seen them on the run a little bit there. Not too much speed there, and tracking back across and playing that one out with the Yellow Jackets, and now it will be a corner here for Adrian.
And we have gone 9 minutes through this contest and still yet to see a score. You know, the weather today was supposed to be thunderstorms and stuff, but by the looks of it, it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
No, sunny and a gorgeous evening. Slight breeze coming from right to left across the field. And this one hangs up in the air on the corner kick, the in-swinger. Headed once by the Yellow Jackets, head a second time, but still inside the 18, unable to clear it. And a shot opportunity, but not much power on that despite being on frame. Easy save for Katie Scott.
Yep, went right to her. Didn't have to move at all.
Ball
Looks
takes
like Katie's going to get that. Sorry.
All good. 2 hops. And it goes to Katie Scott. And she's going to take her time as she's going to launch this down the field. Off of the punt there, and going to be last off of BW throw for the Bulldogs. And talking about the keys to the game, and if you're the Bulldogs, you have to feel good here on the road about how you have started. You've had a couple shot opportunities, not much pace on them. It hasn't really gone to either side of Katie Scott. Been easy saves for her, but you want to continue to test the sophomore goalkeeper and really continue to get the ball in your attacking third.
All right. Sounds good.
Just over 10 minutes played. Yellow Jackets haven't been down on the other side of the field really much at all, aside from one long free kick that was played towards the back post, and it was nicely shielded off by the Bulldogs.
Quite a stark contrast to last night's men's soccer game in which BW was applying the Lord knows how much pressure on those Hiram Terriers. Seems like the Bulldogs are putting a lot of pressure on these Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, but a great opportunity for BW. Farrell wants it, sat up for, and maybe a little optimistic from way out. But she wanted that one off of the outside of the foot. That one was curling away the whole time and out for a goal kick. But those are the areas where you want to win that ball. And she did so there.
All right, so 12 and a half minutes here, and now, 11 and a half minutes, excuse me. And now Adrian threatening, but I think it's going to lead to a goal kick.
Ball played a little bit too far. Not really an opportunity there for the Bulldogs to run onto that one. Out for a goal kick once again. Looking at the coaching staff for the Yellow Jackets, Coach Jim Woitkin in his 5th season for BW. Assistant coaches Lex Manoa, as well as Vince Milner, who serves as an assistant on both the men's and the women's teams, as well as student assistant coach Tyler Marzensky.
That's a good staff, I must say. So, did you get to play with Vince Milner or no?
Vince Milner actually would have been out of school and finished up right before I would have come in, but he would have been on the coaching staff throughout my career. So Vince is a good coach as well, does a lot with conditioning and the lifting aspect, and knows that very well and does a great job. And Coach Jim Woitkin actually was a goalkeeper's coach as well, serving for both the men's and the women's team. And then when he took over the head coaching responsibilities, never looked back at this point. Again, putting together really a good, successful team that they've been winning a lot of matches here the last couple of years and getting it done. And he'll look to continue to improve on that. Tons of great tests throughout conference play for this women's program. But again, with the hot start that they've had so far, and also the test they have coming up on Friday against number 8 Carnegie Mellon. Again, would expect that they are going to be very battle tested going into OAC play, which is going to go a long way when they get to that. Ball kept in by Davis. Played long down the field by Adrian, and rolls pretty harmlessly back to Scott, where she'll just roll this out for her defense to really try to gain some possession.
You know, the Yellow Jackets have made 18 OAC tournaments, but are still looking for that elusive OAC championship. Could this be the year it happens?
Well, they're going to continue to take the strides in the direction to get to that point. Obviously, the main thing is if you can get to that tournament, and that is something that they have been able to do really in recent history fairly frequently as well. So this one played down the line, stays in. Barth trying to run this one down. Just slowing it down enough. This one laid off. Maybe sits up well for a shot. Great coverage there by number 8, Jillian Neal, stepping forward and blocking that shot.
Looks like Tegan fell down on that, and that's why she lost the ball for Adrian.
Goluboff has Stewart in front of her. Stewart turning, needs some help, finds the senior Regal. She turns, and that was a very clever turn if she could have kept that one in play. Just pull it a little bit too far to the side, out for a Bulldogs throw.
So 1/6 of the way through this game, if you're just tuning in, well, nothing's happened so far except for 2 shots on goal for Adrian and 0 for BW. 0-0 our contest.
Ackerman into the feet of Goluboff. A nice driven ball over to the near side. Farrell checking back. Checked her shoulder, and excellent turn. Playing it forward to Neal. Neal with the defender on her right. Out to Barth. Barth, the cross. And that one she wasn't able to wrap her hips around that one and swing that one back. Not enough curl on that cross, and out for a goal kick. And we've got a substitution. Number 37, Natalie Stewart goes to the bench, the sophomore. Number 2, Bailey Hall, the junior, checks in.
From Olentangy, out at Lewis Center.
Yep, going to play at left wing from Lewis Center and played at Olentangy High School.
So that ball got kicked out. We'll see what Adrian can do, how the Bulldogs can capitalize on the seemingly good position right here.
Several shots off on goal, and Scott's been able to match all of those to this point. Yellow Jackets winning this one. Awkward hop there for Regal, and the pressure from behind, and poked out last off of Hohenscheid. Turnover off the throw. Played to the left wing. This one's rolling pretty fast. Going to be hard for Davis to track that one down. She's unable to do so. Out harmlessly now for a goal kick once again.
All right, so quite a contrast to what Zoltan for the men's team had last night. So far, Katie Scott has had a bit of a workout today, having a few goal kicks and a lot of possession inside her territory.
Just 2 shots on goal so far. She's matched both of those with 2 saves. She has this one now and sends this one down the field, takes a big bounce. And a header there from Hall. Now she's going to have to try to track that one down, apply pressure on the defense. Little outlet pass to the right back. 20 yards of space to run forward, and now a turnover. Maybe in transition the Yellow Jackets can capitalize. Farrell can turn. Looking for that through ball in the direction of Hall. Hall cutting in.
No foul.
And she really cut that one inside. And I think it was right inside that penalty box again. She didn't go to ground. Maybe that partially had to do with why the official again didn't call that there, but again, not too much contact. The official lets them just play on, and still with the Yellow Jackets. Crossing this one in, takes an awkward bounce. But Caitlin Stanton there to meet it.
I was going to say it went right to Stanton. Looked like maybe BW would have a chance, but no, they did not.
Well, Casey Goluboff was lurking at the back post there, looking to come in and try to get that header. Some of the first action on the night for Stanton, the goalkeeper. Just over 25 minutes remaining here in the half. Still nil between these two teams, but the Yellow Jackets looking to attack once again. Hall, the lone sub so far, applying that pressure there in the corner, winning it back for the Yellow Jackets. Regal played that across the 6, cleared out, but only as far as the right back, and unable to head that and keep it in with Sydney Anderson, and instead corner for the Yellow Jackets, and Haley Schwade will go over to the far corner and look to hit in the in-swinger.
Schwade also from Olentangy, but Olentangy Orange to be more exact. So probably a good rival with Bailey Hall once upon a time.
This one skips up into the hands of Stanton. Nobody crashing in at that front post. Pretty good ball there across the 6. I think the coaching staff will be happy with that ball. Just surprised that there weren't any runners getting to that one right at the front post, flicking that one on. Instead of settling, Adrian. Mahoney trying to play that one forward. Again, it was taken away. Now stolen once again by the Yellow Jackets. Launching this one down the field. And you mentioned at the start of the broadcast, Tommy, again, not too much goal scoring wise for Adrian yet this season. Everything's been low scoring for them. 0-0, 1-0, 2-1, 2-0. That's really been those types of scores they've been seeing. But here's an opportunity. Sydney Rice wants this shot. Had 2 black and gray jerseys on her back, and awkward spot for her to be able to fire that one. She was looking for the back post. Just a little bit wide will be a goal kick, and we've got a substitution as Goluboff will go to the bench. And checking in to the match is number 22, Mary Litzinger.
Yeah, Cindy kicked that one a little to the left. A good effort. Almost had her 8th goal of the season, but once again, a little to the left.
So getting back to Adrian, and of course not scoring too many goals here this season, but coming in with a very respectable record. It's going to be McKenna Mahoney as well as Josie Huber. It's 2 to watch out for. They've been the leading scorers on the team, 2 goals apiece. Nobody really taking that stronghold of who is that out-and-out goal scorer for the team. But those are 2 to watch out for if you're the Yellow Jackets, and make sure that you're paying attention to where they are. Make sure you're defending them, especially when they get close to that 18 of yours.
And you're right. That they both have 2 goals this season, which may not sound like much, but it leads the team. They only have 5 goals scored all season long, and they've given up just 4 all season long. They are averaging and giving up less than 1 goal per game. So games like these are probably slow.
And you're seeing the defensive prowess and the ability that they have as they've really been pressuring the Yellow Jackets. It's going to be a tough test to find the back of the net here this evening. But if you can keep Adrian off of the scoreboard, again, that gives you a really good chance. All you might need is 1 if you can keep them from finding the back of the net themselves. Here's a turnover, though, in a dangerous area. But slowing the play down. Surprising there, playing that one through, and that's going to be offsides. Really surprised there that Mahoney slowed that play down as soon as she got it in the middle of the field. If she would have gone with a little bit of speed in transition, maybe she could have gone 1v1 with the center back, got a shot off. Instead, just stopping and really killing that ball dead and trying to look for that through ball. Allowed gold jerseys to get back. Neal splits through 2 defenders. Flicked on from Rice to Rigo. Rigo looking for the diagonal ball. A little bit soft there on that pass as Hall was needing to cut in. And a foul there as Regal catches the Bulldogs player from behind.
First foul of the day for BW.
Tommy mentioned earlier again, was supposed to rain a little bit longer throughout the day. Instead, we have a beautiful evening. Pretty clear skies. It is a little bit warm out there, though. It's a pretty warm day. Almost feels like it's August, when instead it is late September here for this match. Again, sun's starting to set here at the moment. Lights have turned on. Whole second half again. It's just going to be under the lights here.
Looks like another foul for BW, their second of the day.
20 minutes remaining here in the first half. Again, you're watching and listening live on bwyellowjackets.com. The visiting Adrian Bulldogs from Michigan looking to put this free kick in the 18. They get the initial header, flicking this one on. And going to be a goal kick for BW. Looks like it was last off the head of forward Eve Davis, the senior.
Yeah, it looked like it had a little too much off the head right there, as Adrian had to hurry to get the ball, but they couldn't.
Throw once again for Adrian. Neal wins the ball. Looking to find a teammate there. Last off of the Bulldogs as the pressure is applied by Linsinger.
And by the looks of it, number 29, Haley Schwade, will throw it in.
Flicked on by Litzinger. Both of these teams just trying to get control of the ball, and a nice turn there by Neal. Plays in the direction of Litzinger. She's going to be in a foot race. Defender's going to get to it first, but down in the corner. Keeping it in play. Turning, looking to clear. A little bit of a pull there and a tug, as Litzinger was trying to prevent her from launching that one down the field. And a free kick deep in their defensive half. The Bulldogs will have an opportunity to send this up the other direction.
So 18 and a half minutes, and once again, that same recurring theme that's happened for Adrian all year long is seemingly showing out here. A scoreless game and nothing much happening. Really been a lot of opportunities, really, but very few shots on goal. Just 2 for Adrian, 0 for BW.
I think that's what Adrian obviously wanted coming into the night. They wanted this game to be very defensive, low scoring, keeps them in it, gives them a great chance at this one. So the longer they can keep the Yellow Jackets off the board, probably increases their likelihood, of course, of winning this one here tonight. Not too often you see matches go 0-0 the whole way, though. Would think that we're going to see at least one find the net here this evening. This one, gorgeous flick on by Hall. Ella Barth has made a run forward from her left back spot. She cuts in, looks for some teammates. Now all those teammates were running vertically down the field. Again, if maybe somebody was checking to her and she was able to find feet there, could have been great with a numbers advantage over the defense.
And it looks like Katie Scott gets it back from number 10, Paige Ackerman.
On the other end there, again, that was some good build-up play. Just a matter of finding that one of those final balls, that final product in the final third. Let them down a little bit. This one played down to the corner. A foot race, and Ella Barth is going to get in front of the run of Mahoney. Let that one run out for a goal kick. 16 and a half minutes remaining here in the first half.
Yep, Katie Scott's ready to boot this one.
Hall shielding. Back to Barth. Smart decision there from Barth to play it back to the goalkeeper and Scott. And Scott looking in the direction of Hall and going to be last off of the Bulldogs. A throw just a little past midfield.
And that comes with under 16 minutes to go in the first half. Still nada to nada.
After that throw initially won by the Bulldogs, got a foot in there. This one takes a hop. A little bit awkward there for Beringer. Trying to settle this one, a heavy touch. BW wins it back, poked back by Regal. Beringer can switch the field. Schwade, right back, opens upper body and looks for Farrell, who's pressured from behind. Farrell a little bit frustrated with that pass as she had the pressure tight on her. Really, Josie Huber has been her shadow so far in this one.
And taken away by number 25, Maddie Farrell.
Poor pass by Adrian directly into the feet of Farrell, who still a little bit frustrated with some things here and wants that ball at her feet, wants to run the engine. One touch ball back from her and then launch down the field. Rice needing to give a little bit of chase. There's a push in the back. And a call there. Farrell much smaller than Huber, but that little nudge from Huber. Official was super close. It was really obvious for him. And now Ella Barth going to be able to send it in the box. From 45 yards out from goal. This one towards the back post in the direction of Hall. Split between two black jerseys and took a bounce out for a goal kick. And a reminder that tonight's Yellow Jacket women's soccer match is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes, as well as Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company.
So Nina Lafko from Tarrenton, Pennsylvania checks in. She's a sophomore. Now Adrian has the ball. That's going to go towards the left side.
Yeah, Lafko getting her first action here on the evening. Not too many substitutions yet so far in this one.
But then again, it is a little too early.
Absolutely. 13 minutes still here remaining here in the half. Would expect to see both still go to the bench again. A lot of bodies there down the corner for BW warming up here at the moment. I'm assuming we'll see plenty more subs here before the end of the first half. Nothing yet sub-wise for Adrian. Not a huge roster over there, but it looks like the coach is having a talk with a player about to sub in on the far side as well. Yellow Jackets win it back, working around the defense with the two center backs. That was Beringer, the right center back, playing it to the left center back. Ackerman, who launches that one forward. Neal, an opportunity to settle this one. She gets it down, looking for her winger, who tried to turn and let it run. Last off of Leah Homan, and now we have a substitution for Adrian.
And BW as well. Looks like they're going to get someone in action.
Yeah, it's going to be a substitution for the Yellow Jackets, as you mentioned, and we'll touch on that here in a moment. But going off for Adrian, number 11, Leah Homan. Checking in for the Bulldogs, number 4, Caitlin Dake. Now, Bailey Hall at left wing, who subbed in a little bit earlier, she comes out of the game after a run out here in the first half. New left winger out on the field for the Yellow Jackets.
Looked like there was a foul on those Bulldogs, and now with an opportunity, here's BW to perhaps open up the scoring with 11 minutes to go in the first half.
So Paige Ackerman, the center back, from the very middle of the field, going to have an opportunity to put this one on frame. Instead, she sails this one a little bit high, unable to get it down. That was right down the middle.
Yeah, just put it down a little more, and we're talking about a 1-0 game rather than a 0-0 contest.
Yeah, and of course she would like to get that one on frame, but again, it's going right down the middle. So if it was lower and on frame, would think that Stanton would be able to get to that one. Want to place that to either side of the goalkeeper there, but one of the better opportunities here so far for the Yellow Jackets, and maybe an opportunity to keep it down in the attacking third, as it's going to be a throw for BW again.
And that's with 10-10 left in the first half.
Rice keeps this in. Finds Farrell in the middle. Farrell wants the shot. Deflected and then has a black jersey trip over her. Rice does win it back. Farrell wanting to fire. And that one takes a pretty heavy deflection. Obvious there for the official. Going to be a corner for BW.
5th shot of the day, I believe, for the Yellow Jackets, and still yet to get any on goal. Fortunately, it's a corner kick for the Yellow Jackets.
So the left-footed in-swinger here. This one hangs into 6. Big collision there as Stanton got her gloves to that initially. Tried to punch that one away and took a bump for her effort. And she's going to be able to put this one on the floor for the dead ball. And it's basically going to act as virtually a goal kick here. It's inside her 6 and boots it down the field. Couple flicks on with the head. A foot race. Adrian applying pressure, and nearly there was Eve Davis. Beringer just able to get it away, out for a throw.
But Adrian's going to get it. Still a great hustle by Eve Davis. I thought she was going to get there and perhaps put something on goal for Katie Scott. But I guess not.
Here's the throw for Dake. Flicked on. Scott going to get to it, and Ackerman just shields off the incoming run of Anna Marie Fosmo.
That was very risky by Katie Scott, but I think she did the right thing, because had she backed up, and once again, had Ackerman not gone that's a shot on goal and perhaps a 1-0 contest. You never know what can happen in a game of soccer.
Bit of a foot race there, and Scott controlling her box. She gets out to the top of the 18 and scoops that one up. Just under 8 minutes left to go here in the first half. Still goalless, 0-0 between the Yellow Jackets and the Bulldogs. Nice touch there, cutting inside. Long shot.
Uh-oh.
And that one was right in the hands of Katie Scott up the middle. But foul and the free kick opportunity now for Adrian, and one of their better opportunities on the night. Going to be from the far hashes, those football hashes, of course, on the turf field here inside George Finnie Stadium, Tressel Field. And this one going to be struck from about 28 yards out. Opportunity to get this one up and over the wall and dip this one down. Here is that free kick. Got it up over the wall.
Too
the second
high.
part of the dipping down where it could drop on frame. Unable to do that. Sails up through the uprights and a goal kick for BW.
.640 left in the first half, and as you mentioned a little while ago, still donuts on that scoreboard.
Schwade, plenty of time, no pressure right now. Can look for some feet and switch play. Neal, nice turn there. looking for the through ball, and there are really no yellow jerseys in the area. And this one rolls out for a goal kick.
Now be with 6 minutes, roughly 6 minutes until halftime. The sun is just about ready to set out here on what's a pretty gorgeous Wednesday night.
Neal takes that one off the chest on that goal kick. I think that should be last off of Yellow Jackets. I didn't see the deflection, but lines judge is a little bit closer down there on the near side and said that was last off of the Bulldogs. So Yellow Jackets throw. This one high in the air off the clearance inside the 18. Out to the left wing. Barth with the overlapping run. Tons of space out there. A little step over, looking to get to her favorite right foot. Curls this one into the box. In the direction of Sydney Rice. Takes a hard bounce for her. She's unable to control it. And Adrian gaining possession. Now looking for feet.
Now with an opportunity, here's Litzinger. But the ball went out of bounds. And that will be the Bulldogs' ball.
Neal applying the pressure on Mahoney, who wants that ball forward. It's in the middle. Barth has to track back and get to it. There's a bump from behind and the initial contact. And, of course, that foul started from outside the box. So it's going to be a free kick. Of course, not the most ideal spot there when you're the Yellow Jackets. It is a good chance for the Bulldogs, but a lot of credit to Barth, because if she didn't track back, that could have easily been a 1v1 with Scott and maybe result in the first goal. Gives your defense a chance, gives your wall a chance to try to block this one. And Scott didn't have to go 1v1. And we'll see what the Bulldogs can do, though, with this free kick from 20 yards out.
I thought for sure that foul came in the 18, but it did not. Very fortunate for the Yellow Jackets, but still not the best place.
And this one fired hard and high, had the pace behind it. But Faustmoen wanted all of that one. Again, just like the last free kick, unable to get it down and on frame. So a great opportunity squandered for the Bulldogs. Still 0-0 on the scoreboard. Multiple subs for both of these teams. Number 17, Alyssa Scatino checks in for Sydney Rice. As Rice gets her first breather on the night. Farrell, a little nutmeg there. Diagonal ball picked up in transition. Great opportunity here. Going to ground was the defender, keeping this one in play. Across the box and a deflection and out for a corner. Sydney Mudge. Great run there, showing off the speed. And that was kind of dangerous for the Yellow Jackets. Really good chance here, and we'll see if they can capitalize on the corner. Ball hangs up towards the back post, sits up still inside the 18, takes a hop up. Just not the contact that number 29, Haley Schwade, would have wanted there. She went with that half volley off the outside of the boot, had that side spin to it, and out for a goal kick.
So both goalies have been kind of busy today, I guess. So many scoring opportunities, but still nothing showing on the scoreboard. Both goalies dodging bullets out there left and right, dodging them as if they're in the Matrix.
Pressure applied by Scatino. Down to 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. Into the feet of Zoli. Scatino tries to flick that one with the outside of her right foot, looking for her teammate in Mudge, out for a Bulldogs throw again.
And now we have less than 90 seconds in this first half. Very defensive, but it could quite easily be high scoring. Just that both schools have had so many opportunities, as I mentioned just a minute ago, but neither of them can capitalize.
So a free kick opportunity here again for Adrian. Expect them to put this one in the box. Could be one of the last offensive chances in this half. Clock ticking down, 50 seconds now. It's a black and gray jerseys pushing forward, right on the edge of the 18. This one's towards the back post. Takes a deflection off the back of the head, and I think that's last off of the Yellow Jackets, and it is. So a corner opportunity. So the Yellow Jackets need to defend this corner, get this one cleared out as far away from your goal as you can possibly. Last thing you want to do is give up a goal right at the last before going into the locker room. 20 seconds left to go. Still plenty of time for Adrian.
Yeah, that would be devastating if they give up a goal so late in the first half.
Right foot in swinger, and that one is way too hard and long, and that one's going to roll out. And the Yellow Jackets can really just kill some time here. And that does it for the first half. So that's how we wrap up. 0-0 in the first half. Can either of these teams in the second half break the deadlock and walk away with the win? Or will we remain all knotted up? That's what we await and see. Make sure to stay tuned here. We're going to take a break here on bwyellowjackets.com. But before we go, Tommy, your thoughts there on that first half?
Well, I think I've mentioned a few times. I think I'll mention it again. A lot of opportunities, but nothing happening. And if I'm Coach Woykin, I try to tell the Brown and Gold Brigade out there, try to be a little more aggressive because 0 shots on goal, that's kind of alarming.
That it is. And then we'll see what happens. We'll see if they can correct some of that, get some more of those shots on frame. Again, something that Adrian has struggled with themselves. A lot of those shots, those great free kick opportunities they had, again, unable to get that down and on goal. But both defenses standing strong. We're going to take a break. Again, I'm Cole McDaniel. With me, Tommy Maroon. We'll be right back for the second half here in about 15 minutes. And we're back here at George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University, about to get the second half underway as the Yellow Jackets knotted up at 0-0 with the Adrian Bulldogs visiting from Michigan. If you're just now tuning in, you missed the first half. The Yellow Jackets, an overall record coming into this one of 5-1, and the Bulldogs coming in with a record of 3-2-2. Very defensive so far. Both of these teams, the opportunities they've had on goal, well, haven't really been on goal. A lot of shots high, a lot of shots a little bit wide. Neither able to find the frame that much this evening. And the goalkeepers and the defenses have been winning out. Matter of who can break the deadlock, if either can this evening. Cole McDaniel alongside Tommy Maroon. Tommy, into first half. Again, you talked a little bit about what you saw out there. We'll touch on a little bit what both of these teams might need to adjust, what they might need to do here in the second half to get this one done. But again, beautiful night, beautiful evening for some soccer action, just a light breeze out there. I'm looking forward to this second half because it is neck and neck all knotted up.
Yes, sir, I'd agree with that. Now BW is going to score on the left side, while Adrian, they'll score on the right side.
Yep, again, the Yellow Jackets now attacking from right to left on your screen. This one going to be a heavy touch and just out of play for a Bulldogs throw. Taking a look at the first half, the Yellow Jackets with 6 shots, and of those 6 shots, again, none on frame. 2 saves for Katie Scott, but also pretty active, controlling her 18 for Adrian. 3 shots, 2 of them on frame, and actually they might even be missing one of those shots because I know that 2 free kicks from the substitute number 15, Anna Marie Fausmoen, were off a frame. So again, should be 4 shots there for Adrian this evening. Now down the corner, looking for the long throw into the 18 at the near post. Looking to flick that one on. Won by the Yellow Jackets. Not cleared very far, but applying pressure from behind. Hall gets it. Foot race here. Neal wins the ball. Maybe the Yellow Jackets can get some gold jerseys forward. Get out in transition. Diagonal ball. Drop back. Rice wants it. Takes a heavy deflection. And that one is going to be out for a corner. So nice build-up play there for BW. And you know when Rice gets her foot on the ball, she's going to want to fire off a shot. 41 of those coming in to the night prior to this game.
And now it's at least 42 with that one going a little to the right. But once again, off the deflection. Had that been on target, you never know. Maybe it's 1-0 now.
Going to be an outswinger here. The right boot on the corner. Ella Barth gets up to that one. Gets sandwiched in between the defender and Barth's head. Adrian was able to get it away, and now a foul from behind. And the official, I think, going to just talk to Neal here about the little bit of aggression. A little bit of a warning. Not going to the books here at this point.
Now each school has 6 fouls today. 4 corner kicks for the Yellow Jackets, while the Bulldogs have 2. It's been a very evenly matched contest, I must say.
Heavy foul is challenge from Ackerman. And I think the official, again, just because of the heavy contact, Ackerman going to pick up the yellow card and, again, going to just blow this one dead and make sure that the Bulldogs player is okay. That's one of their attacking leaders, 5th-year senior and McKenna Mahoney. Glad to see her up. Seems to be okay running this one off. And like I said, Ackerman, first one into the books for either team tonight.
Now, that was not a pretty scene out there as Mahoney went down hard, but I think she's still staying in the game, which is a good sight to see. And it looks like Josie Huber will be kicking this.
Now here's the thing. They're going to launch this one into the box, high into the back post. And that one kept in play. And the Yellow Jackets going to try their best to get this one away. Cross deflected. And now offsides is the line judge again was able to get that. You heard the shouting from the crowd. So before that free kick, what I was seeing there, and if you're Adrian, you could watch this back on the film, a little bit surprising that nobody was near that near post. Everybody was running from the back post. There was a ton of space, ton of room. I'm surprised they didn't just slot that one through, have a near post runner cutting across, play that one through on the ground, see if a runner can get to that and fire a shot off of one touch. Instead, again, they went to the air, and the Yellow Jackets have done a pretty good job defending some of those long balls into the box. They launch this one down the field. Rice applying some pressure, trying to win it for her team, and gets the deflection there and out for a throw. Good hustle from the forward.
And it looks like Adrian's going to get the ball back. Past 4 minutes, almost 5 minutes through the second half, and still nothing shown on the scoreboard in the only category that counts, goals.
Barth initially looking for that through ball to Hall. Another opportunity at that. She's able to find Hall. Hall into the box. Just black jerseys closest to where that ball skipped in. And Adrian able to send it the other direction. But again, a lot of back and forth here at the moment. Awkward backwards pass there for Barth, but didn't take too big of a hop there, and Scott able to easily corral that one and settle it. Well done by the goaltender.
There's a deep kick towards the right side. Is that going to be in bounds? And nope.
After that hop out again, Adrian with the throw. We've played just over 5 minutes here in the second half.
So the volleyball team doesn't play again until Friday. And by the looks of it, trying to see the men's soccer, they don't play again until
Saturday at home.
That's
Earlham
right.
from Indiana visits. And you can again watch and listen to that one here on bwyellowjackets.com. As well as you can watch the replay on the Baldwin Wallace Athletics YouTube channel as well. Hall looking for the feet of Farrell, a little bit behind her. This is out for a throw. In the direction of Mahoney, and that one goes through the legs of Ackerman. Mahoney pleading to the line judge here that it caught Ackerman on the way through. Line judge said that didn't see anything there. Center official didn't either, and a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. And almost hard to believe that that didn't touch Ackerman on the way through.
It looked like there was a foul on Adrian, meaning that the Yellow Jackets will be kicking this from roughly midfield. So Adrian will not be bunched up together in a wall, really. They'll just be spread out from what it looks like.
Ella Barth, the left back, with her right boot, looking to send this one into the box. It's to the back post. Goluboff was the closest to it. She almost ducked out of the way and ran out of play for a goal kick. Still 0-0, and substitution for the Yellow Jackets is Paige Ackerman on the yellow card, going to the bench, and into the match is number 20, Kaylee Neal.
Neal is a 5'10" sophomore from Holly, New York. So that's quite the distance from Berea, Ohio.
Neal had some experience and time on the field last season. Probably a smart decision there from Jim Whitekin, wanting to get one of his center backs out again on a booking already. A lot of time left in this one. Don't want to risk being down a man against Adrian. Ball played back to Scott. She sends this one to the middle of the field. Second ball won by Adrian. Tough pressure being applied by Farrell, and there was a nice little arm pull there from her. The left arm, and Farrell much smaller than number 22, Josie Huber, and little bit of a bump there and some contact from Farrell. And I just think Farrell's been a little bit frustrated with Huber being her shadow here this evening. Been very physical with the senior Farrell. This long ball driven into the box, low line drive, easy catch for Scott. No black jersey's able to get to that one and flick it on. It had plenty of pace. The Yellow Jackets, if they can get this one out in transition, if Regal can control the ball, Golubov's wide open on the back post. Instead, Adrian winning that one back defensively. Flicking it on, looking for the through ball run. In the box, looking to run this one down, going to get to it. Back across the 6. And defended and cleared out by Beringer.
Just a good job by Beringer preventing the cross from happening and letting them get what could have been the first goal of the night.
That one rolls out for an Adrian throw once again. We've played 10 so far in the second half.
And I know I mentioned it at the top of the broadcast, but that theme of low-scoring games is showing up here tonight as it's 0-0, and we've played 55 minutes.
Long high ball drifting back to the left wing. Eve Davis is able to get to it, but very tight pressure being applied. It'll be last off of the Yellow Jackets, though, and a corner opportunity now for Adrian as they send their center backs forward.
Corner kick for Adrian by number 25, McKenna Mascaro.
Looking to whip this one in is Mascaro, and that one just a little bit past the 6. The initial header there. Won by Huber and unable to direct that one towards the frame, and really not much pace on that one, out for a goal kick. And we have a substitution for BW as Farrell's going to check out. Neal's going to get pushed forward to the center attacking mid spot, and sliding into the holding mid position is number 15, Nina Lafko. Maybe an opportunity here, but Barth is able to get back. And Faustmoen was the attacker for Adrian on the run there. She's been a little bit dangerous off of the bench for Adrian. It's really seemed to be the most threatening for the Yellow Jackets defense.
Good pickup there by Scott. Nobody near her, so she can be a little more aggressive towards the ball.
Yeah, and actually able to take her time there rather than need to get really aggressive and come for that ball, as there were no black jerseys within sight. Now a couple more substitutions here for the Yellow Jackets. Back in at left wing is Sydney Mudge.
Number 13, Sydney Mudge, and number 22, Mary Litzinger.
Number 22, Mary Litzinger, also in at right wing. Excellent turn there, and looking for some feet. Regal has lots of green turf in front of her. Nice little turn. And getting by, drawing the contact, and an easy foul there for the official to call that one. Bergeron was lunging, and Mudge goes to ground. Sydney Rice is going to come over, and it's going to be a tough angle to fire a shot. She's not going to have a huge angle to put this one on frame. Maybe look to whip this one in towards the back post for those runners. Of course, if she sees the goalkeeper, Stanton, drift too far to the back post, maybe try to sneak it in at the near post.
Towards the left side, maybe.
Rice does hang this one up towards the back post. Initial header won, as Neal off the forehead, straight down into the turf. Took a high bounce, just to the right of the goal, though. Any danger averted there for Adrian. Still 0-0.
And We've gone about 14 minutes through this second half.
50-50 ball won by Neal. She's been doing a great job of that in the midfield. Rice played it forward for Litzinger. Last off of Litzinger, out for a goal kick.
Yeah, that did go out on the baseline, I guess one might say. So, yeah, that's definitely a goal kick rather than the sideline.
Off the goal kick, a driven ball. Initial header won by BW, and out for a throw once again. It's time for Adrian. Excellent tackle there. All ball by the center back, Beringer. Long ball, and Barth is going to be able to shield this one out, but nice hustle there from Anderson, able to keep it in. Maybe the Yellow Jackets can now break the other way. Unsurprising that Regal went to the inside, as she had Mudge with acres and acres of space here to the near side.
And now we've gone 2/3 of the contest without a goal, as that ball is going to harmlessly roll out of bounds, and time for a throw-in. I think that's Neal doing it.
And somebody to watch out for who could maybe break this deadlock for the Yellow Jackets. Again, if they are able to get on the scoreboard, see if they can get it done offensively and attack. On the left wing, the substitute, the freshman from Michigan, Sydney Mudge. She had a really nice diagonal run in that first half. She has the speed with the long legs there, and saw the run from her again. If the Yellow Jackets can find her, she seems to be dangerous cutting in. Barth wins this one back. High boot on that challenge. Little wry smile from her as she clearly looked over to the side and knew that one was a foul. And now Adrian can put this one into the box again. Is stepping up to bomb this one down the field is Huber. She's got the leg to put this one, drop it down right inside the 18. Just needs help from her runners. Driven ball towards the back post. Gets all the way through. Kept in. And this one just rolls harmlessly to Katie Scott.
Katie's had quite a few balls head her way today. She's with 3 saves and 5 shots today for Adrian.
A lot of credit to Katie for commanding her box, but nothing that's really tested her too much or been too difficult. Any shots that have been on goal have been directly to her. She's made some really smart decisions back there. And again, little shield off. Comes out as aggressive there as pressure was being applied by Faustmoen. Now the Yellow Jackets look to go the other way. Neal, a nice turn. Diagonal ball. Takes a hop and one by Adrian. That ball's bouncing a lot here. Neither team able to get it to the turf here at the moment. Get it down. Now after that pass goes astray, Yellow Jackets can get it to feet. Neal plays this one to the corner. Rice giving chase. She's going to be beat into that ball, but she's closing in. Nearly kept that one in play. As Bergeron just got caught there, down in the corner. Throw for Adrian.
I think now would be a good time to talk about perhaps something about the Guardians right now. They're in a scoreless contest. They've been doing really well lately, haven't they?
Yeah, another team that's obviously been doing well. Mentioned again the men's soccer team, undefeated on the season. They had a great match last night with the win over Hiram. Of course, this Yellow Jackets women's team, very impressive start to their season as well. And they're looking to break this deadlock, and would say they've had the better chances here in the second half. Things are really trending BW's way, despite still being pretty neck and neck, going back and forth between these two teams. Barth can let this one run out. Going to be a goal kick.
So once again, Katie Scott continuing her work out there. Meanwhile, 8 shots for BW, 0 on goal, which is very alarming, as I mentioned just before the half, and really something that Coach Woykin may want to talk about soon.
.25 minutes remaining here in this half. Through ball, opportunity for Adrian, 1v1 with Scott. And she finds the back of the net there, and there's a goal for the visiting Adrian College Bulldogs. That's exactly what they needed here on the road. Eve Davis with that goal, the senior forward.
That might be the only goal of the game, considering how both of these schools have played today, considering the fact that BW has had no shots on goal at all. That might be the difference maker. And could this be the second loss of the season for the Brown and Gold Brigade? We shall see.
Substitution for Adrian. Is the goal scorer in Davis now going to come off of the field? Seems to be hobbling a little bit there. Again, hope that she is okay. She did just break the deadlock for her team. Into the game, number 12, Riley Mugrabi. .25 minutes still. As I mentioned just about 30 seconds ago. That's plenty of time for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah.
Get down the field. Get the attack going. Really haven't been a string of chances. It's been a little bit spotty here or there. But all you need is one chance to turn the tides in any given match. As I'd mentioned again, it had been really neck and neck throughout the second half as well. Would expect to see much of the same between these two, but if you're Adrian, your game plan's been working. Again, you're a very defensive team. You wanted this to be a low-scoring match, and that it has been so far. If you're the Yellow Jackets, maybe you can break that deadlock here. That one sat up with the left-footed shot. Had enough pace to get that one on frame in the air. Directly into the arms of Caitlin Stanton, right down the middle.
First shot on goal for the Yellow Jackets today, I believe. I mean, you know what they say, better late than never, but still, that's got to be frustrating.
Here's Neal. She finds Barth. Barth a little heavy on that square ball to Neal. A lot of credit to Barth at left back. I mean, she has been bombing up the field, getting back, hustling defensively. If there was a tracker on her tonight, checking how far she's run distance-wise, I would think it very well might be the most of everybody out there. She has been all over the place. Back to Barth. Finds the center defensive mid and Lafko in the middle. Played forward. It's going to get all the way to Rice. No, cut out. His stepping in front was the defender Blanchard. Excellent aggressiveness from her, winning the ball back for her team. And now it's going to be an Adrian throw on the far side.
I was surprised there wasn't no foul called on that, because she went down pretty hard right there, as we are approaching just about the halfway point in this second half, meaning we are about 3/4 of the way through this thing, 75% completed.
Here's another shot, this one low, a little bit to the left. No deflection on that shot, and going to be a goal kick for BW. An awkward turn there, really didn't look where she was passing. It's number 22, Litzinger. Yellow Jackets can win this ball back, though, as Scott picks it up. Maybe an opportunity to roll it to her left center back instead. Saul. The number 15, Faustmoen was lurking there and instead had to boot that one down the field. Opportunity to settle and find feet. Have a little bit of possession. Excellent turn there by Neal. Neal to the near side. Lots of room for the left wing. The winger Mudge goes forward. Heavy ball to Ella Barth. Mentioned how much Barth has done on the offensive end as well. Talked about her hustle backwards defensively. Not afraid to take advantage of her speed and that overlapping ability that she has. If you're Nudge, you'd want that one back. Again, Mudge just played that one a little bit too hard. Gonna have an opportunity here to turn. Heavy touch. Tried to apply the pressure. Forced Adrian to send this one long. Neal wins this one once again for BW. Kept in play by Beringer on the far side. Just over 20 minutes remaining here in the second half. Visitors from Adrian with a 1-goal advantage. BW getting a little bit of possession here before Neal taken down from behind. Dusts her shoulders off there. And going to be a free kick for BW.
So 20 minutes and 20 seconds to go. We'll see if the Yellow Jackets can rally to tie it. And by the way things have gone so far, things have not gone well for them. Particularly when it comes to the shots on goal. As now we have 20 minutes to go.
Yellow Jackets have probably had a little bit more possession here in the second half than Adrian. But of course, Adrian has the goal to show for their effort here in the half and maybe going to try to get another one back. Cutting back, looking for some help. Finding a teammate in Mahoney. And a hard challenge coming in and playing that one out will be a throw for Adrian. I thought it was going to be for an Adrian throw, and they were almost dropping back thinking it was the other direction. Now things sorted out. Yellow Jackets have 3 subs at the scores table. Going to have to wait until the next dead ball stoppage. Easily picked up there by Katie Scott. Looking down the field again, trying to find some gold jerseys. That second ball won by Adrian. Nice 1-2. Maybe an opportunity for Adrian once again.
Oh.
And they score again. 2-0. Bulldogs, courtesy of Faustmoen.
And she had the assist in the previous goal. And, you know, 1 goal is easy to make up. 2 is not. So that is not a good sign for BW. They got those 2 goals in a very fast pace. We'll see if BW can make it up in 18 minutes and 48 seconds. That won't be easy. Let me be the first to tell you that.
Credit to Adrian. Didn't win that first 50-50 ball, but they picked up the second one. And then you saw Anna Marie Faustmoen. She got her left center back that was on her back, Neal, to commit and get forward. As soon as she played that to her teammate to her right, she spun and ran off. Little 1-2 action. She beat Neal with her speed, and then it was all home for her as long as she could tuck it past Scott, and she did. And Tommy mentioned it, going to be a long way back here for the Yellow Jackets, especially with the fact that despite not scoring many goals, Adrian doesn't allow many goals either. Still 18 minutes remaining. Lots of time if you're the Yellow Jackets and you can get one back. I oftentimes say that a 2-goal lead is one of the most dangerous. Again, that is sometimes where the team that's in the lead, they let off a little bit, get too comfortable. That's when sometimes the team that's down gets that extra spark, realize they need to get things going and quickly. Long shot attempt there from Neal, and that one's deflected. Going to be a throw deep into the corner for BW.
Well, Cleveland just took a 2-0 lead out there in Chicago. Oscar Gonzalez had two runs, excuse me.
So this one going to be last off the Yellow Jackets. It's going to be a goal kick. And several substitutions. The Yellow Jackets had just gotten their subs in right after that goal. A change for Adrian.
.16 42 seconds remain, and now less than that. And once again, you're right. Adrian's goal by now, their thing that they're going to do is probably play to prevent anything from happening out here.
Going to be very defensive. And look to halt the Yellow Jackets on the attack. Getting that free kick following a foul. Coming by way of Natalie Stewart, showing some aggressiveness there on the wing. Throw for Adrian. Putting this one inside the 18, finding feet, maybe an opportunity to turn and get another shot off. This one low, and a slow roller who's going to be going a little bit wide right. Easy save there for Katie Scott. Again, wouldn't have been finding its way in, but dangerous there for the Yellow Jackets. Really allowed Mahoney to turn. Turnover again. Most recent goal scorer, and Faustman looking to go forward. But Faustmoen turns that one over, and BW takes possession again. Launching that one high.
.12 now left. That ball go out. It looked like it went out.
Still in play. Down the far left corner. Cutting back. Deflected there. Can BW get down to feet? That's where they've had the most success. Not launching it down the field in the air. It's when they can find feet, they've been able to get something happening. Here's Rice. She wants to cut in. Gets double teamed. Fighting to keep possession of that ball and tracking back into the midfield. Hard pass there to deal with. Mudge takes it off of the chest. Barth comes and corrals it. Neal looking for Stewart. Stewart's in. Oh, and she just didn't get that leg outstretched as that one sat up beautifully for her. It took a hop up. Looked like she'd maybe be able to wrap her hips around that. Drive that one through with the laces. Maybe would have been a bit of a tighter angle, but 1v1 there with Stanton. If she could have just got some decent contact on it, some power. Maybe not sure if Stanton, freshman goalkeeper, would have been able to do anything there. But that being said, Coach Jim Whitekin and coaching staff could be a little bit disappointed they weren't able to capitalize, because that was a blaring opportunity for them. Now on the attack again. Hall looking to play it past the defender and run by her. Deflection. And a throw. Up to Mahoney. Ackerman, who's back in on the yellow card, wins that back. Here's Rice. Rice is starting to track back into the midfield, come to the ball to get involved. She hasn't seen much of it tonight. And now that she's involved, making some things happen, showing her physicality, she's taken down from behind, wins a free kick for her team. Here from the near side. Great opportunity to whip this one into the box. Try to pull one back with just under 13 minutes remaining.
This could be a momentum shifter here if BW gets a goal.
Rice, low, deflected by the wall. Only out as far as Ackerman. Ackerman can just find some feet here and instead looking to launch that one into the box. Again, it was just all black jerseys at that point as gold jerseys of BW had backed out of the box. Now they can get it to feet. As I mentioned, again, that's when they've had the most successes, but when they've been working around and finding feet, getting it to their wingers, especially here on the near side when Ella Barth has been making her overlapping run from left back. Here's Rice, tight defense on her. Last off of Blanchard, out for Yellow Jackets throw.
And now 12 minutes to go. You need to string up something fast.
Farrell turns that one over. Ackerman, aggressive, coming forward, and
she
down. Looks to be in a little bit of pain here.
She's down.
And the official taking a look over his shoulder, and the Yellow Jackets just going to play this one out. Hopefully it's nothing serious and just a little bit of cramping. But with the brief pause in action here as training staff comes out to tend to Ackerman, a reminder that tonight's Yellow Jacket women's soccer match is being brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider, and Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. During this injury timeout, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with the conclusion of this match here between the Yellow Jackets and Adrian in just a moment. And we're back here from George Finnie Stadium as we have just under 12 minutes remaining here in the second half. The visiting Bulldogs from Adrian with a 2-0 advantage over the Yellow Jackets. Good to see Paige Ackerman walk off under her own power. Again, hope that she's okay. So a couple changes for the Yellow Jackets as they adjust some things with their personnel out on the field. Is dropping into the defense now is number 42 Lexi Thompson, and Bella Regal back into the midfield.
So now less than 11 and a half minutes to get something cooking. You think BW can get something cooking?
Well, a lot can change very quickly. Obviously, a team just a couple of blocks down the road knows that things can change in a matter of even a minute and a half. So crazy things happen in sports.
Yes, sir.
All you need is one goal to get right back in it.
That's right.
But against the stout defense of Adrian, it is definitely a tough task. But when you have a goal-scoring threat like Sydney Rice, you always have a chance up front. And like I said, I've definitely liked when they've gotten the ball off to the left wing here. Love to see them get the ball to Bailey Hall over here. Allow Ella Barth to make that overlapping run. If they can find Barth, maybe you can find Rice running into the box and get a cross in. Seems like that's been some of the most dangerous opportunities that they've had. But you know Rice is definitely that player, the difference maker that they're going to be targeting. After the foul, an opportunity on the free kick. This one into the box. Hanging up, Farrell, one of the shortest players out there on the field, was the closest one to get her head on it. Initially won by Adrian. Ball played back. Nice little split there. Barth able to turn. Looking for some help. off the chest. Really nice control there from Lafko. Finds Farrell. Farrell tripped up. Ball was initially won. Now both players getting all knotted up.
Had a feeling that one was going to be a foul, and it looks like it's going to be on Adrian.
Thought it was actually going to be Farrell as she initiated that contact, but official viewed it as Farrell was able to win the ball, and Zoli took her to the ground. Free kick now for Barth. Into the box. Doesn't make it past the black jersey, but then a beautiful finish there from Farrell on the volley. Wraps the right boot through that one and powered that one home at the near post. Nothing that the goalkeeper Stanton could do about it, and the Yellow Jackets have a lifeline. 2-1.
So Maddie Farrell picks up her second goal of the season, points 5 and 6 on the campaign. You know what they say, better late than never. And now the Yellow Jackets have a goal, and not just that, but some life injected in them.
So the senior midfielder from Michigan getting it done. And as I mentioned, again, giving her team that lifeline they so desperately needed, and hopefully that gives them that jolt of energy that they need as well as they find themselves down 1. Still 9 minutes to play, and possession has been going the way of the Yellow Jackets. Intercepted there by Adrian. Nice cut inside.
No foul.
Strong tackle there from Thompson. Hall looking in the direction of Neal. Neal comes back, wins that for her team. Down to the corner where Stewart's the closest one to that, and it's going to roll out for a goal kick. Another substitution, and I think this is definitely a smart one. Because Sydney Mudge, she hadn't been on the pitch here the last little bit, but she's been one of the most threatening attackers on the night. And Hall goes and takes a seat, and Hall again has been running around and showing some really solid effort out there as well, so credit to her. But seeing the speed and that cutting in ability from Mudge. We'll see if the Yellow Jackets can take advantage of that with 8 minutes remaining in the second half.
That one out on BW, so much for a scoring opportunity there, but you'll get more. There's still a good chunk of soccer left to be played. And that going out on that one out on them. So that means BW is going to get it.
Taken off of the boot of Stewart. Adrian trying to get out on the break. It's that long ball looking in the direction of Kelsey Zoli, and that one a little too far out for a throw for the Yellow Jackets. Sub for Adrian going to have to wait until the next dead ball. Hop in front of Barth. Barth gets the header to Mudge. Mudge looking for the long diagonal ball. Rice closest one to that. Won by the Bulldogs. Picked up in midfield. Farrell looking for Stewart. If Stewart can get to it, keep it in play. I think she did. But then a heavy touch as she kept that one in. If she could have had a softer touch, played it to herself, and ran onto that one, would have worked a lot better for her there. A lot of credit, though, on the hustle.
6.5 minutes left in this contest. We'll see if the Jacks can rally to tie it.
It almost just seems like the Yellow Jackets, with the depth that they have, of course, more players on that bench, more they can go to, they just seem to have more energy at this point. Hard left-footed shot from Rice. Caught the back of the head of the Bulldogs defender.
Corner kick time.
Alana Earl, I think, going to get looked at here by the trainer really quick. Going to stop the clock here. Just check and make sure there's no concussion or anything along those lines, of course. Really in sports at all levels around the country, the matter of head injuries, and that impact and the knowledge and awareness has really grown. So smart from the official again to stop that and let Earl get looked at. And we're going to get this going again here with the Yellow Jackets corner right after the official comes back over. So he's over the scores table, so it's going to be a little bit of a brief pause. I think he wants to get some more seconds added back onto that clock as it continued to tick away, even after he wanted that clock stopped. So they add 10 more back on. Good news for BW. Here's the end swinger to the back post. And a foul there is just an incidental run-in between the defender of Adrian, who won that header, and the Yellow Jackets player closest there, and any danger averted there from the corner for Adrian. And now they get to clear this one out.
I think that's the 8th or 9th foul today for BW, whereas the Bulldogs have 10. It's been a very evenly contested game, that's for sure. We'll see if BW can rally to tie it now.
Header one, but a little bit awkward there for Thompson. Wasn't able to get much power on that. Barth tracking back to help. Barth does keep it in play.
Wow.
Pressure from behind. Gets that one caught under her feet. Farrell. Slide and an excellent effort. That one just a little bit out there. Going to be a throw now for Adrian.
I was going to say that did look out of bounds to me, and I think he made the right call on that, the referee right there. Less than 5 minutes to at least tie this thing up.
Anderson throwing this one in for Adrian. Down the line. Initial header won by Barth. Now Farrell. Mudge gets to it. Neal on the run. This one's going to go all the way out to Stewart if Stewart can find Neal. Neal gets her body into it. Being shielded off. Defensive effort there from Bergeron, but Neal is able to track back and win it for her team. Off of the deflection, sits up nicely for Rice. Rice just has it taken off of her boot by Huber. Now a throw for BW here on the near side.
Uh-oh, 2 balls are up there, and they got rid of the second one. That was odd.
Here's Neal looking
Way
for a
too
teammate,
high.
and an awkward shot there from Lafko. Lafko wanted it. That one just popped up, and she was trying to volley it out of the air with the left foot, though she was getting bumped from behind, and it just seemed to throw off her body positioning a little bit. Not able to get the proper contact she needed. 3.5 minutes left to go. Yellow Jackets still down 1, continuing to apply pressure and look to battle back.
Oh, nice behind
Rice.
the back kick.
A little flick. It was cheeky from Rice. Didn't actually pan out. Adrian looking to go in transition the other way. Race to the corner, and should be easy for Beringer to get to it. It's going to be last off of her, and now an Adrian throw.
Less than 3 minutes left in this game. It's definitely not going to be easy now for BW to get down the field here. And
Little gamesmanship here from the Bulldogs, taking their time to get this throw in. Don't blame them at all as they hold on to the slim 2-1 lead. Take you down to the corner here now, looking to shield it out. Last off of the Bulldogs. Not much time taken off the clock on that shield. Yellow Jackets need to get this back the other way. Going to be a throw again. The clock is not the friend of BW here at the moment.
no, it's not.
Header off of Stewart. Going to be out for a throw. And you're probably going to see another 10 seconds or so drained here by the Bulldogs. Off of the throw, letting that run. Going to be a goal kick, and that's about the best thing that could happen for the Yellow Jackets. An opportunity for Scott to put it down, get up the field, get it the other direction. Second ball won by Adrian. Here's Barth settling off the chest. 50-51 for the Yellow Jackets. Rice looking for a teammate. Huber cuts that one out. Here's Neal. Neal going to ground. Mudge giving chase. Out for a throw off of Bergeron's clearance. 1 minute remaining in the final third, and here's a foul, and this is a great opportunity for the Yellow Jackets as Sidney Rice, leading goal scorer on the team from right outside the 18, is going to be able to put this one in the box. And if I were her, I'd look to fire this on frame. She puts this one low, curling into the back post. A deflection, saved off the line. Corner kick, Yellow Jackets. 40 seconds remaining.
Wow, they got to hurry out here. Less than 40 seconds to go. I thought for sure that was going to go in.
In swinger on the corner, deflected. Rice wants the volley, the half volley, and it's set up for lots of power there. Just leaning back a little bit and high, and that's going to be a goal kick, and that really should do it for Adrian.
Talk about a great game from both schools. It's a shame that the Yellow Jackets are going to end up being the tough luck losers on this one.
And that was oh so close.
Yeah.
To being a goal at the end for BW and tying this one at 2-2. But now the Yellow Jackets, after dropping this game, falling by a score of 2-1, fall to 5-2 on the season. Still a very impressive start to the non-conference schedule as conference play is quickly approaching. And for Adrian, they improved to 4-2-2. Take a look at what these teams have coming up, but before I do so, I want to toss this over to Tommy. And obviously we talked about it was very nearly an opportunity for the Yellow Jackets to score at the end. They made that effort. They didn't give up. Almost got it there. If you're the Yellow Jackets, you have to feel pretty good about the effort you had at the end.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, it was just a fantastic effort towards the end of the game. I thought for sure the Yellow Jackets were going to tie it. They had two great opportunities, but ultimately it did not pan out for them.
So next up on the schedule for the visiting Adrian Bulldogs, they actually have their alumni match this Saturday, and then they start conference play versus Hope College a week from today. For the Yellow Jackets, mention the really tough test they have on Friday. It's going to really, in addition to this game, help battle test them for the tough OAC schedule. They're at 8th ranked Carnegie Mellon in Pennsylvania, and then they have a week from tonight, Worcester, and then conference play starts for them in the OAC. So a lot coming up in soccer action. That's going to do it for us tonight. A reminder as well, in addition to all the other action going on this week, I will be here once again for the men's soccer game on Saturday night following the football game. Make sure to tune in for that here on bwyellowjackets.com. For myself, Cole McDaniel, for Tommy Maroon, everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Goodbye.